entitled, Are You Mature Enough to Handle My Vulnerabilities? Are you mature enough to handle my vulnerabilities? Before we get into the subject matter, I would like to define briefly, what does it mean to be vulnerable, or what are vulnerabilities? I'm going to give you the researched version, and then I'll give you my version. The researched version says, being vulnerable in a relationship means allowing your partner to know you fully. Being vulnerable in a relationship means allowing your partner to know you fully. Your thoughts, feelings, challenges, weaknesses. It can be scary to show those sides of our partners out of fear of being judged or taken advantage of. This is how true intimacy is achieved, though. We are known, accepted, supported, and loved. That's my research definition. Pettway definition, you let your guard down and you open your heart. Simply put, you let your guard down and you open your heart. Before I go any further, I'll be remiss if I don't say something that was at the top of my notes, but I went below that. Hey, those that went on the PFL cruise, I hope those that went, you guys had a wonderful time. This is a PFL function tonight, so I just wanted to make sure that I mentioned that. Hope you had a wonderful time, and I also want to recognize Ms. Monica in this because, hey, I helped out. I did something, but the heavy lifting, Ms. Vanna, yes, I have to give it up, girl. You put that.
Thank you.
So I want to make sure that I mention that. Go on the record saying that. But so, are you mature enough to handle my vulnerabilities? If you have your word, and if you don't have it with you, it's okay, because I'm going to read it from the Bible up here. We're going to open up tonight looking at Judges 16, 15 through 20. Judges 16, 15 through 20. It reads as such. And y'all listen to me, I'm going to break this thing down as it relates to us right now, today. 15 says, and she said unto him, how canst thou say, I love thee, when thy heart is not with me? This is Delilah talking to Samson. She's asked the question to Samson. How is it that you say you love me when thy heart is not with me? Notice I said Pettway's definition. You open your heart and you let your guard down. She just asked her man, or she just asked Samson, how is it that you say you love me? You say you love me, but you ain't giving me your heart. You're not letting your heart open. You're not opening your heart to me. You're not letting your guard down for me, but you say that you love me. That right there, that's a contradiction there. You say you love me, Samson, but I cannot trust you to tell me some of the deeper things there is about you. How can I say I love you, Monica, but I do not share the deeper things concerning me to her, and vice versa? So Delilah asked the question. You say you love me, but you won't open your heart to me. You won't give you safeguarding some things. Why is that? That lets me know that my vulnerabilities, this is Samson now, my vulnerabilities, I feel like I can't trust you with. Now, we married. Now, in this case, they weren't married. He was trying to marry her, though. But anyway, not married. But in husband and wife, how is it that I got something deep within myself, but I would be showing my hand or opening my heart to you, but this little bit right, this compartment over here, look here, don't go up in there. I don't need you up in there. The reason I don't want you to go up in there is because I'm not ready to share that with you just yet. I'm not ready to share that. We had two ladies to come in, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she said, how come you won't open your heart to me? So let's go on. That was verse 15. How come you won't open your heart to me? You say you love me. Verse 16. And it came to pass when she pressed him daily with her words and urged him so that his soul was vexed unto death. What does that mean? She pressed him daily. She kept coming to him. She kept asking him, listen, I need for you to give me some information concerning your strength. I need you to reveal something to me that I know is precious to you, but I need you to trust me. You say you want to be with me. You say you like me. You're laying your head all in my lap and all this kind of stuff. So I need you to. So she kept at him, kept talking, kept pressing. I need you to give me this information. The scripture said that he was vexed unto death. What does that mean? Vexed unto death. Basically, it means impatient to the point of death. She was impatient to the point of death. So she kept asking him. That was verse 16. Kept asking. Now, as of yet, he has not revealed what she wanted. There were 3 other times that he lied to her, though. There were 3 other times that he told her something to get her up off of him. But when she lied to him, looked like he would have saw where her mindset was about him. Because all it was she wanted some valuable information from the man, and he was not trusting her enough to give it to her. For whatever reason, and we're going to get into some reasons in a minute. For whatever reason, she was not trusting her enough to give it to him. Samson was a Nazarite, meaning consecrated, set apart for God's use. He was born. So when he was born, he was then at birth, before he was born. When your birth is to separate, you to be separated and consecrated for the use of God. Okay? But the woman was a Philistine. The dad of Samson didn't want Samson even fooling with any Philistines. But Samson, he loved women. I mean, especially them Philistine women. He had a certain type of woman, just like every man in him got a certain type of woman. Loved himself some Philistine against the advice of Manoah, his dad. Okay, that was verse, what, 17 or 16? That was verse 16. Verse 17, that he told her all his heart. I just said, Pettway definition. You let your guard down and you open your heart. How deep is that? As a man and as a woman, you let your guard down and you open your heart. That verse said that he told her all his, anybody looking at that? All his heart. And said unto her, there have not come a razor upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb. Consecrated. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man. The scripture before that said that he was vexed. She kept coming to him. She kept pressing him. So finally, to get you up off me, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to be vulnerable to you. Mm-hmm. He said, I'm going to be vulnerable to you and let you know the secret of my strength. We as husbands, we as wives, are we vulnerable to each other? Can we share the deeper things about ourselves to each other? And if we can't, why? When you share the deeper things, the things that may have happened when you was a child that you still dealing with in your 40s, in your 30s, in your 50s, in your 20s. You still dealing with that thing, but you never shared it with your mate for whatever reason. Why not? Why haven't you shared? There are reasons behind that. Why haven't you shared that? Now, he shared information ill-advised. Sometimes you can share information not up in here. I'm sure it don't happen up in here, but if it does happen, I hope God convict that thing. I really do. Sometimes you can share information with a mate or a partner or someone, and if they do not have your best interest at heart, when they get mad at you, sometimes they can use that information. I don't see it happen. Yeah. Use that information against you. Now, what I shared with you was deep for me. What that lady shared with you was deep to her. Now, because we are at odds and we're upset, we're angry, you mean to tell me you're going to use that against me? You're going to bring that up against me? I was transparent. I was open. I let my guard down. I opened my heart. And now you use it against me. The state of Samson. Samson told her something he never should have seen. Never should have told her. And looked like he would have known after the first 3 times. There were 3 other times that he actually told her an untruth, a lie. And he saw the results of doing that. But because the scripture said he was vexed, just kept on. So he went ahead and told her. That was verse 17. No razor should come to me. What happened? 17, 18. And when Delilah saw that he had told her, there it is again, all what? All his heart. That thing deep, y'all. Done told her all his heart. She sent, just like she always did, and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, come get him. Come up this once, for he has showed me. Show me what? Hey, that thing keep coming up. That keep coming up. All his heart. I'm showing you my Pharisees. I'm saying that word that y'all know what I'm talking about. Pharisees. Facebook, y'all help me if y'all look. I'm showing you the softness of my heart. The things that I hold dear to me. How you going to handle it? What are you going to do to assist me in my vulnerabilities? We saw what she did. She said, come up this once, for he has showed me all his heart. Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and brought money in their hand. She basically was given like 1,100 silver in order to basically entrap him. And she fell for it. I mean, she was a Philistine, so she wanted to do that. So they're saying that, hey, the Philistine bought the money because of what she did. Verse 19. And she made him sleep upon her knees. Now his head is in her lap. Now, for a man to lay his head in a woman's lap and actually go to sleep, there's a lot of trust there. It has to be some trust there, because when you sleep, you don't know what's going on. You got to trust that person. You don't know what's happening when you're sleeping. He laid his head on her lap, and she called for a man. She caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head, and she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him. His strength went from him because she confided. She confided in him after he let her know a part of his vulnerability. Verse 20. And she said, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awoke out of his sleep and said, I will go out as at other times before, shake myself, and he wist not that the Lord was departed from him. In other words, he did not know at that time when he shook himself that the Lord had departed from him, because that's where his strength was. 21. But the Philistine took him, put out his eyes, and brought him down to Gaza, and bound him with fetters of brass, and he did grind in the prison house. Howbeit, the hair of his head began to grow again after he was shaven. Good evening. Vulnerabilities. So now that brings me to a little exercise that I want to do real quick. And then we're going to tackle some of these points that I have on the board. And then we're going to dialogue a little bit if time will permit. So what I want to do right now, and we can go ahead and close out right now on that, and then we'll come back there. Hopefully we got people that are asking questions